If you are looking to tighten sagging skin and bring back that youthful glow, I am telling you, radiofrequency is a total game changer. It completely transformed my face 4 years ago. And this is the device that I use, which is the NEWA, and the results really, truly blew me away. And since then, I have kept up with my results and tested just about every at-home radiofrequency device that's hit the market, including the newest contender, which is the Medicube UltraTune 40.68, which was launched last year in 2024. And I have purchased this the beginning of this year. So can this relative newcomer outperform the radiofrequency champion? I've been using this for a few months now. And in today's video, I'll walk you through the science behind both devices, what makes them different, pros, cons, clinical results, and at the end, which one I personally recommend based on your specific skin goals. So let's dive in to this radiofrequency showdown and find out which one delivers for which skin type. Let's get started. Before we compare these devices, let's quickly understand how radiofrequency technology works. Radiofrequency energy heats the deeper layers of your skin, specifically targeting the dermis where collagen and elastin are produced. This controlled heating causes two things to happen: immediate tightening of collagen fibers, triggering of a natural wound healing response that produces new collagen over time. It's like doing a deep workout for your skin with both immediate and long-term benefits. That really depends, and we're going to talk about those immediate benefits in just a moment. But the key differences between radiofrequency devices often come down to the specific frequency used and how the energy is delivered. Start with the Medicube UltraTune and the specifications of this device. So the UltraTune uses a very specific radiofrequency megahertz, which is 40.68. That's why it's called 40.68. This higher frequency typically provides more superficial treatment with a more uniform energy distribution across the upper skin layers. In radiofrequency, the lower the megahertz, the deeper it penetrates. So in office, professional treatments are anywhere from 0.3 to 1 megahertz. What really makes the UltraTune unique is not only the 40.68 megahertz, but also it combines radiofrequency technology with microcurrents. So this means it's delivering two types of stimulation at once. So in this device also, so you know, you do not feel the microcurrent. So I'm not feeling any sensation on the face except for some heat. So radiofrequency energy is used in this device to heat tissue and stimulate collagen, and then microcurrent to tone facial muscles and further enhance firmness, which you cannot feel, by the way. That to me might give you like a slight instant like lift because of that microcurrent. I will tell you that I did not see an instant lift when using this device, but I just want to point that out. So the UltraTune delivers a more even heating pattern across the skin surface and can work effectively at lower temperatures, making it potentially more comfortable to use while still providing effective results. And I do want to state though, however, that this has 5 intensity levels. And on level 5, if you were just to kind of really leave it on that area, you really do always need to continuously move it in small circular motions. But if you're going really small, you're going to definitely feel it. It does get hot. So just kind of keep that in mind. It also has these 6 metal contact points that must definitely be touching the skin. All of them need to be touching the skin. And it automatically adjusts the energy delivery for your safety. So all of these devices that are at home have safety mechanisms in place, which is really important. This higher frequency approach is designed to deliver consistent surface treatment that can be used daily without requiring any special gel. So that is a huge win, I know for many, is that you do not need to use a gel with this. So let's talk about what it is claiming to do. It is claiming to firm the skin and also a more youthful appearance, volume to facial contours by targeting key areas like the eye area, the smile lines, and also the wrinkles around the mouth with the microcurrent technology. So let's go ahead and talk about the NEWA. So the NEWA radiofrequency device uses actually ND Med's patent 3D technology, which operates at 1 megahertz, significantly lower than the Ultratune. The lower frequency of NEWA is actually a benefit when it comes to depth of penetration. So lower RF frequency typically penetrate deeper into the skin layers to target collagen producing cells in the dermis. So NEWA's approach is sophisticated. It uses multiple radiofrequency sources simultaneously, creating what they call phase controlled radiofrequency energy fields that push energy deeper into the skin while keeping the surface a bit cooler. The 3D technology actually comes from professional grade machines that have been adapted for safe home use. It uses 6 electrodes simultaneously, creating repelling and attracting forces between them that enhance the deeper penetration while minimizing surface heat. Some other key differences that I think are really important to note is that when it comes to actually using these devices, you really need to know these things. So NEWA requires their activator gel. I've tried many different gels with the NEWA radiofrequency, especially the Medicube gel, which is their HR booster, and I absolutely love the Medicube gel. It does not work with this. It has a really hard time conducting. So the only gel that I find that works perfectly with NEWA is their gels, and they are pretty pricey. So just kind of keep that in mind. You will need gels. And then what I do to kind of make the gels last longer is I actually will go ahead and buy a water. This is by Avane. This is the thermal spring water. So that once I got the gel on, if I'm finding that it's drying up, I just spray the water and it kind of reactivates the gel without continuously adding more gel, because that way the gel is obviously, you're going to use it up pretty quickly if you do that. So that's one tip. Now the Ultratune does not require any gel. However, what I have noticed is you do need to use some sort of skincare. So you need the skin to be just a tad wet. And I like to use my serums. I just use a serum. Any serum, a water-based serum is what I use. And then you can go ahead and use this, and it does conduct. I like both of these because they do let you know that they are conducting or when they are not conducting. Both do that. So you will notice if you need to add on some more serum, but all I'll do again is just spray with water if it's starting to dry and this is not conducting. So just kind of keep that in mind. Also, the treatment schedule for both of these are super different, okay? So the Ultratune, because of that 40.68 megahertz, you're definitely gonna use this daily. So just kind of keep that in mind. And actually Medicube is stating to use it 1 to 3 times a day. That's kind of a lot. I don't know anybody that could use this device 3 times a day. With that being said, the treatments are very short. So we're talking 5 minutes for face and neck is really all you need. It's a very short treatment. But I do believe that if you want to give this a go, you will at least need to use this morning and evening to get the results that you want. So just kind of keep that in mind. So NEWA recommends treatments 5 times per week, at least for the first month or so. I'd say if you have more advanced signs of aging, do 5 times a week for 2 months, and then you could go down to 2 or 3 times a week after that. The treatment time is much longer at 16 minutes. So just kind of keep that in mind. And that's because you're going on one area for 4 minutes. And the areas for treatment are very different on these devices as well. So for the NEWA radiofrequency, you're just using this on the lower part of the face. So this is a treatment area. This is a treatment area. There's 4 treatment areas, okay? That is it. Now, some people have used the NEWA on the forehead, on the neck. It is not FDA cleared for that, so keep that in mind. Now, with this device, you can use this everywhere, except you cannot use it here on the thyroid area. You can definitely use it on the neck, the sides of the neck. You can use it all over the face. You can use it around the mouth. You can use this underneath the eyes. You can use this here. Don't use it on the lid. Do not use it on the lid. And you can also use it on the forehead. So Those are major differences, okay? Let's talk about ease of use. This one is definitely, as you can see, it's much smaller. It's very light. This one is a bit heavier and it's definitely big and bulky. So just kind of keep that in mind. Using this, however, it doesn't bother me. It's such a short treatment. It's not like I'm going like this for 4 minutes on one area. All right, price comparison. This one I think is $350. I think that this starting out is $385, and that is the classic version. So they have the NEWA Classic, and then they also have the NEWA Plus, and the NEWA Plus is $495. That is the cordless version, and I'm gonna be completely honest in that I don't think that you need the cordless version. I really suggest getting the Classic. I have always had the Classic, which is the corded version, and I absolutely love that because of the mere fact that those cordless devices, the batteries on them don't last very long. So you're going to be repurchasing one and who knows, maybe a couple of years. And I find that the corded versions last way longer. And I've also heard that the cordless NEWA radio frequency, the NEWA Plus, the cordless, that it doesn't heat as good if it's not, charged. Well, you never have to worry about that with the Classic because it's corded. So just kind of make note on that. I've used it also for the Medicube. I've used many of their devices, and I will state that their cordless batteries are everything that they make is cordless, and they're really actually pretty good. I've never had to replace any one of my devices that I've gotten from Medicube. So that's just kind of something to note. There is some definitely ongoing cost with the NEWA because you're purchasing the gel. When you purchase this, you're done. You don't need to purchase any additional gel to be able to use the device. So keep that in mind as well. And I do want to share some clinical results and also some FDA status because that could definitely make up your mind. But the NEWA is FDA cleared. Okay. And their clinical studies, which have to be from an outside source, I think if it is FDA cleared, they show significant results after 12 weeks of use. 89% of participants reported tighter looking skin just after 4 weeks. And I have done videos on NEWA. And actually for me, it took me it was 90 days when I started really seeing results in my sagging skin. I will link that video. Make sure that you check that out. The Ultratune is not FDA cleared, so keep that in mind. The clinical studies, Medicube works with dermatologists, and they do a lot of in-house clinical studies, so that's something to keep note as well. They've got 29.8% improvement in forehead lines. My personal results. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my before and afters on the NEWA radio frequency. Again, that was 4.5 years ago. I have continued to maintain my results with a good skincare routine, SPF daily. And then of course, I test many other radio frequency devices. So let's talk about my before and afters with the Medicube. The only area that I've been using this on was right here. And the reason for that is because of this 40.68 megahertz. And I'm kind of thinking that it's not going to be good for like tightening skin, but more for, again, those superficial fine lines, wrinkles, those more delicate areas is where I see this being a game changer. Okay. Not really sagging skin. I have, like I said, been using this for a couple of months, and the only area I've been using it on is this area. And I will show you my before and afters. Don't think that there's any, I'm maintaining my results, which is good because it is only, again, just a 5-minute treatment. So that's for the whole face. So I'm just kind of going like 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And I have been using that morning and evening to see if I can maintain those results, which I have. And a lot of you are going to ask me, I hear that radio frequency is going to get rid of your facial fat, which honestly, I kind of wish that there was a radio frequency that did that to a certain extent. Because when you're talking about this jaw area, like if you can see my jaw, it's not like this, right? It's not. And that has a lot to do with the, this is like fat right here. And I'm telling you, I was hoping, it does not. There are safety mechanisms. It doesn't get that hot. Neither does this. It does not get that hot to be able to melt that fat. But what you are going to see with this is you are going to definitely see the collagen effect and the elasticity effect, where you're going to see it definitely tighten. Okay, that lower part of the face. So just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, so let's break down the pros and the cons of this device. Okay, so the pros for the Ultra Tune, no gel required. All of us love that. It combines radiofrequency and microcurrent. However, how much microcurrent is in this device, I really don't know because I don't feel any of it. No ongoing cost after the purchase, like I said, and the higher frequency is definitely going to be wonderful on those sensitive areas like the crow's feet, the forehead, around the mouth, those lip lines, the neck. So I think that this is going to be great for that. Cons of this device, it is more expensive, just a tad more expensive but they're always having sales. So just so you know, both of these companies are always having sales. I do not have a discount code for this one. I do have a discount code for this one. This can be tricky to maintain contact on curved facial areas as well. When you're doing this, I found it just to be a little like on the forehead because it's curved. You really kind of have to really be mindful of it conducting. So just kind of keep that in mind. It will conduct, but sometimes because it's curved, you really have to just kind of play around with it and make sure that you're getting it specifically right to ensure that it's conducting. There is no FDA clearance mentioned on here. I know that Medicube has safety, like CE certifications and those sorts of things. So I really trust Medicube and their safety. That's just something that you're going to have to keep in mind. And this is going to be really, you're going to need to be consistent every day with this. Okay. It's definitely going to at least start out with 2 times a week. I want to say a couple of months, and then maybe you could go down. So the pros on the NEWA radiofrequency, definitely FDA cleared. It is professional grade 3D technology adapted for home use. I love that it is very comfortable to hold and lightweight. And it really has strong clinical results. And I think that my pictures also really show that as well. So it can also just be 2 to 3 times per week treatment after the 5 times a week for the 1 or 2 months that you use it. And some of the cons for the NEWA, obviously, is the gel that you're going to consistently have to use that. And you shouldn't anyway, be using this around the mouth, the eyes, the forehead, the neck. Now you can use it on this upper cheek and you can get up like this for those crow's feet, and that's going to help this area, but you cannot use it here. You cannot use the NEWA here. Again, that 1 megahertz, it's just, you need something that is going to be a higher megahertz to really be able, it's too sensitive. Okay. Also, I do find that the NEWA radiofrequency can really dry out the skin. So you're definitely going to want to really make sure that you're hydrating after you are using this treatment, and either a facial mask or some skincare that is really hydrating. So which one do you choose? Okay. Which one is going to be right for you? This is like my recommendation, obviously, based on years of beauty device research and use, but I truly believe that Medicube this device is going to be used for if you're just starting to see signs of aging. I think that this is going to be great. If you don't want to purchase a gel, I think this is going to be great as well. You're fine with 5 minutes daily treatments and even twice a day. Or let's say that you've already got this one. Maybe you've got the NEWA, you absolutely love it, but you're looking for something to work underneath the eye, the forehead, around the mouth, the neck. Then you might want to add this, onto your beauty device arsenal. So for the NEWA, the person that I feel that this device is going to be for is definitely someone that has more advanced signs of aging, particularly on the lower face. And if you are looking for FDA clearance, if you are, prefer a less frequent treatment, you want to go in, you're like, hey, I'm okay with doing the 16-minute treatment and just doing it like 3 to 5 times a week. And like I said, more advanced signs of aging on this area. I do not believe, from my experience and research, that this device is going to help with sagging skin on this area, on the lower part of the face. Regardless of which device you choose, this is these are the tips for maximizing your results, because I get this all the time. You got to be consistent. Results come from regular use over time. You've got to take before and after photos. Even the smallest change is change. And you really need to pair with collagen stimulating skincare. That includes vitamin C, peptides, and even retinol. And you need to stay hydrated and use SPF daily. If you're not doing that, you might as well not purchase one, because you're really wasting your money. And I say that with love. So, and you need to give it time. You need to have patience. Like I said, you're going to see results probably within about 60 to 90 days. So be patient. Move very slowly with whatever device that you're going. You really want to really build up that heat, and you need to kind of go, you're constantly moving the devices, but you want really small circular motions to build up that heat. I hope this comparison helps you decide which radiofrequency device might be right for you based on your needs and budget. Do you have either of these devices? What has your experience been? Let me know in the comment section below. If you found this helpful, please go ahead and give this video a like. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you do not miss my upcoming videos. Until next time.